Transformation, revelation. It's beast machines.
The seeds of the future lie buried in the past. To unleash the warrior within, tame the beast without.
Seeking their balance and destiny, they transform and transcend disharmony. To get through this darkest hour, transmutation gives them the power. It's an evolution, revolution. It's beast machines. It's a transformation, revelation. It's beast machines. It's an evolution, revolution. It's beast machines. It's a transformation, revelation. It's beast machines. Beast machines.
Coming this fall to Fox Kids.
All next week at 5:30, Johnny Quest packs his bags.
What kid?
And Tsunami goes to war.
We've got a full-scale threat attack!
Open fire! For 1 week only. To your stations, quickly! Beast Wars. All next week at 5:30. Transformers 90s style. Only on Tsunami.
Proximity alert. Proximity alert.
Flash.
The most anime on Saturday outside of Japan.
You just made my day.
Toonami, The Rising Sun, Saturday from 9 to noon. A day which will live in infamy.
Ladies and gentlemen, over the years, Toonami's given you some of the greatest cartoon shows ever made. Now we're proud to present our newest edition, a program about love, honor, sacrifice, revenge, and a whole lot of destruction. Let's get things started. Gundam Fight all set, ready, go!
I will get rid of them with my own hands.
Your crime shall not go unpunished.
You still haven't figured out my true identity. Let's do it.
Now, fire!
What's happening?
Thinking the planet Earth is nothing more than a playground. Prove your worth to the Shaolin Temple.
Totally insane.
Take this! My love, my anger, and all of my sorrow!
You intend to shoot your own brother?
Will never be forgiven!
G Gundam, premiering next Monday at 5. Only Toonami.
Okay, you asked for it.
It's the lion again! Come back to save us! And I don't fight with them!
Hey, stop calling me mister. I told you, I'm only 20 years old.
Success rates are nothing but scientific theory. A brave heart will defy any odds.
Program drive, engage!
Broken Magnum! It doesn't look good. Hell and
Love not good, fear not evil. Premieres March 17th on Toonami.
Fellas, I'm ready to get up and do my thing. Can I count it on? Can I
It's a
count it
total
on?
eclipse of the heart.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, wait, cool.
Can I count it on? Can I count it on? 1, 2, 3, 4.
After Colony 196, humanity finally achieves peace. But the ashes of war give birth to a new threat.
We at Colony L3X18999 hereby wish to declare war against the nation.
A child is building an empire to avenge her father.
I will rule the world.
With guns Gundams at her side, Earth will feel her fury.
Drop the colony onto Earth. Stop this at once.
The remaining pilots will battle each other to stop her.
I'm asking if you guys are doing the right thing!
The endless waltz of war, peace, and revolution continues.
See for yourself just how powerless you are.
Roger that.
Prepare yourself for Gundam like you've never seen it before.
You will surrender!
A special Gundam Wing movie, Endless Waltz. Friday, November 10th at 5. Suit up again. Only Toonami. Toonami's bringing back Saturday mornings. I'm going to show you a little spam. 3 hours of quality Toonami programming, and it's not even a school day. Starting at 9, you get back-to-back Thundercats.
If we're gonna do it, let's do it.
Then Sailor Moon at 10.
Moon, sky, earth, fire, air, water, rock, star.
The Saturday premiere of Tenchi Muyo at 10:30. The Garlic Jr. Saga at 11. And the Powerpuff Girls at 11:30. The most anime on Saturday outside of Japan. Toonami, The Rising Sun. Saturday from 9 to noon. A day which will live in infamy.
Reactor engaged. Faction locked. All go.
Well, it might help if I put my little character on screen, huh? I completely forgot to. I am very prepared. I am a professional streamer. There we go. Had everything set up. Forgot that one thing. I hope you're all doing well today. I'll get to super chats at the end of all this, so I appreciate it. So what we have here today is a very interesting subject, because I've spoken about this guy a couple of times now, but this is the third time. And I probably will be speaking about him later. But first, I would also like to welcome my co-host for today, my dearest goth fruit bat here, Smout. Say hi, Smout.
Hello, everybody.
Smout's not locking me in the basement this time, so, you know, that's at least a plus, considering last time she was here, I was locked in the basement. Anyways, another couple of people I would like to thank for joining us would be Podcast himself, Valorian, and Saxon Dixon, who are currently watching this stream in Anime's server. I am everywhere you want to be, Hank Hill. So, here's why we're having this stream. I am under the opinion, because it is a biblically correct opinion, that rebuke and reproving one another is a good idea. Why do we feel the need to do this? Well, because if you don't, things go haywire and people start doing however they please instead of what's supposed to be done scripturally. So, right now, what we have is a young man, that being Christian Anime Podcast, who is, how do I put this? Not exactly doing as he's supposed to and falling into some very bad behaviors in terms of his conduct in his server as well as on his channel and other things. So, we're going to be going over that. But the first thing that happened here was Smout decided to take a look around and found some somewhat concerning things on his socials and had a call with him. So, that's the first thing we're going to be getting into today. We're going to play it at normal speed because it's just 22 minutes. And then we're going to be going over the behavior and conduct in his server because I want to be very clear. I can go over somebody's animation takes. If we disagree, at the end of the day, whatever. It's a bit different when it comes to my faith. And I will tell you right now, anime really wants to be, and I quote, off my radar. You are not going to be off my radar. The way you have acted and your response to me, as well as Protogen, has guaranteed you a permanent spot on my radar. Now, there's something that Podcast is terrified of that we're going to get into later, but since I know he's listening right now, and so is a couple of his mods who are also terrified, I'm not going to do what you guys are scared of. Oh my goodness, stop being cowards. So, we're going to go ahead and get into it. And yes, I know you guys are also mad, so you guys can scope and see it about it. But let's go ahead and start with the audio. All right, Smout, you're in.
Yeah. Well, that was surprisingly quick. Hello.
Hello, hello. I am. It's 10 p.m. for me right now, so you've caught me at a good time before I go to bed.
Yeah, I was told that you live in Australia, so I was like, okay, I'm away until you have some time. Like, even if it wasn't able to do so today, we could have just scheduled. I'm not, like, stingy about time.
That's all good. I'm trying to figure out what time zone you're in. Wait, let me figure it out.
I'm German, so CET.
German. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right. I usually just so you know, from my perspective, I haven't. I don't think we've met before.
Nope.
So, but I just so you know, usually what am I trying to say here? Usually, a bunch of people, I get like 3 to 4 kind of people who kind of want to talk to me one-on-one for all different sorts of issues, and usually, if this is talking about like something I posted or something problematic, I'm willing to hear you out, but I tend to not want to go on for a while with these sorts of things. So, yeah.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He only will under very specific circumstances, because if you're... We'll get into what his qualifications on that are. It's going to be very funny.
Yeah. What should I call you, by the way? You can call me Podcast Son.
Just call me Smout.
What should I call? Smout.
Wait, I missed it. He said Podcast Son. I only heard podcast.
Yeah, we're not using Japanese honorifics on a weeb. Sorry, it's not happening.
What the fuck?
I mean, we could call him Mr. Podcast, which is what that would translate out to, but he's not Japanese. He's Filipino. We're not doing that.
I'm not going to call him anything besides podcast. Or maybe cab.
Dork. All right, let's continue.
Hello, Smout.
Hello.
And you love Coke.
Oh, that is a random tag from a random server, to be honest.
Oh, that's good.
I do
Alright.
apologize. I am still sick. Yesterday I
Oh
had
no,
no voice.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I could not tell. I really could not tell that you were sick. So.
Oh, interesting. Anyway.
Alright. What did you want to talk about?
So I know you're an anime lover and all that stuff, and I do acknowledge with a lot of the things that anime people do, like anime stuff, but I did see a handful of posts that I find quite questionable. Let me see if I can find those. Where the characters are pretty young and you're kind of like simping over them, and I think it's like quite odd.
I want to be very clear, we are going to get into that in some of the things we found, but Smout's overview, there was worse. We'll get into it.
To be fair. And maybe you can just explain what your thought process was, or what the attention was, because it is weird.
No, I gotcha. I think it's all right, so this is in my mind. I know it's like, for how long are you a regular watcher of anime, or you're not?
A semi-regular. I do watch it every now and then.
Okay, this one I think I'll retract this. This one, yeah, that one that you just posted. I'm just gonna delete that.
Fun fact, he only removed it from Twitter.
Yep, still on his YouTube. So if you guys want to see the creepy stuff after the stream, you can just go look at his YouTube posts.
That honestly, it's just it was meant to be an inside joke, and I thought it was funny. So I'm just gonna delete that tweet. That's just
Yeah.
it's just gonna continue haunting me for the rest of time. So you know what? It's gone. That one's gone.
Okay, good.
Ar-
Or the one
Alright.
with the wife. It's just really weird because the characters are young as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I'll defend him on the wife one, because that's from Clanad, and at that point, she literally is married to the guy. But the other ones are just kind of, come on, buddy.
So with Nagisa, I think it's just, so with the anime art style, right? It is meant to emulate youthfulness, right?
I hate. This is not related to theology, but I hate that type of statement. What is the anime art style? There is no anime art style, because anime all have different art styles within them. Fist of the North Star doesn't look like K-On! Gatchaman doesn't look like Dragon Ball. One Piece doesn't look like Gao-Gai-Gar. So what the heck is this? What it is, well, it's nebulous enough I can make an excuse for it, and that's not how that works.
So for me, I think if I was out in the real world, right? Because just for context, I'm actually studying to be a high school teacher, and I work with like high school kids, right? Like in the real world, I know what like a kid looks like and what an adult looks like, and it's and there are still like people even my age, I'm 21 now, who still
same
look
age.
childlike. Yes, they still look childlike, but it's not as if they're like children, right? But they're still childlike. I can think of like even in my circle of friends, right? So for me, I think with anime, it's in this weird spot where it's like they look childlike, or it's like they're. I don't want to say childlike either. It's just like it's a expression of youthfulness, but it's not. Because I've been around anime for all my life, basically, so it's not weird to me that I'm like simping for this one. I agree. The one with like the lollies, I agree. Yeah, that's weird. But everything else, I just think it's cute. I don't think of them in like in a sexual way, or like in a way where I want to bang these girls, right? No, it's.
Well, the problem with that, and we're going to see later on, is that it's not exactly consistent. Now, there is nothing wrong with liking cute things. I have cats. I have a wife. There are people in my life I do think are adorable, and I tell them 10 out of 10 would give head pats. The problem is you can't say, well, it's just because they're cute, and then put them in like a waifu tier list. Like, you can't. And we'll get into that later. So, the problem is, and this is something we're going to see with him in general. If you pay real close attention, if you know anything about scripture, Christianity, and the weeb mentality, their culture, is they're not compatible. Because there's too much crap, too much garbage that the weebs have as part of their culture that is contrary to Christ. And his problem seems to be that he'll put that in front of Christ. Either that, or his politics, or whatever. Christ is supposed to be the head of your life, and he is not treating it as that. He is treating Christ and Christianity as essentially subservient to these things. And you cannot be a Christian and do that. So let's continue.
Yeah, he
Just-
kind of
it's
he
a
kind
cute
of excuses that as well later on the call by saying, "Yeah, I grew up with it."
Well, yeah, I mean, I grew up with some anime too, but that's not much of an excuse here. That's the problem.
art style. I like cute girls. So that's another thing. Or not cute girls. I like cute women. I like hanging out with cute women, and I also like cute anime girls as well. So that's how I.
Yeah. The only thing I find weird about that kind of stuff is because the connotation of girls, like essentially meaning, yeah, like I get the youthfulness. Like, don't get me wrong, I am 21. People think I'm like 14 or whatever the hell. So I know the problem way too well.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, especially when it comes to fictional media, it is this very thin, but also very kind of dangerous gray zone, where it's always like, okay, is that something, like, I get it's not sexual, but the tone could still be seen as that, and that is probably also the case here with a lot of the things, even though they're meant to be silly.
All right, chat, calm down. Calm down. Saying I like cute girls is nothing inherently wrong. Chill out.
So I think it's more the matter of, okay, how do I portray this so this doesn't look fucking weird?
Yeah. I'm still thinking about it, because... Anyway, thanks for... This is a good convo. You seem like a normal person, so I'm...
Smout is not normal. We love Smout, but Smout is not normal.
Just for context, I've just had this insane person throw accusations of me about how I'm actually a Nazi, and they just weren't listening, so I just stopped talking to them. So
now, some context for that is I know who he's talking about. It is a guy he also banned from his server by the name of Protogen, who has been doing video after video, essentially hoping that it would just get his attention and get him to stop the behavior. He at no point insinuated or called Podcast a Nazi. At all.
Yeah, I even partially saw that going down live when I joined the server. And I kind of like looked through it. I literally saw part of that happening live.
So, that's a lie, Podcast. You lied. And you made him feel bad when I confronted him about it. And I looked through that entire conversation you two had. He never once called you a Nazi. Now, if he did, I couldn't blame him because of some of the crap we're going to have to see here later. But no, he never called you a Nazi. That was dishonest.
So, I appreciate that I'm actually talking to a normal person right now.
Well, yeah, I do bully people that are actually, like, horrible people.
We do. And also, Smout...
It's 2020.
So, Smout, do you think Podcast would last like a week dealing with the lunatics I do?
Nope. Not even a second.
No. If he thinks Protogen's a problem, he's never been around the lunatics that obsess over me. It'd be amazing. He would lose it.
Like, I've already been more than kind to him. I literally put it down in the kindest words you could. I could have been meaner.
Yeah. You could have been. But he still didn't listen now, did he?
Nope.
But if I can just have a civil combo, why not?
Yeah. It's something I'm still thinking about and still trying to find that fine line. I think
lie.
Especially for a guy like me, I'm still single, so
Also, I want to go ahead and make this clear, a comparison here. So, chat, what was the one thing in the Garden of Eden God told Adam and Eve, don't mess with it? What was the one thing? I love somebody just says apple. It's not an apple. The fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? Now, one would presume that they would stay as far away from it as possible. No, they didn't. They didn't. And that's the problem when it comes to thoughts like this. You shouldn't be up at the line. You should be avoiding the line. Why would you go past the line or be near the line? That's dumb. Don't do that. Moving on.
To me, it's kind of normal to be posting about like cute anime women, and doing that posting. But
the posting of cute anime women is one thing, or even cute anime girls. It's the weird connotations he puts to them that's the problem.
I do appreciate that.
And also the weird mixture of Christianity and anime. Like, as I mentioned earlier to Lio, there were literal posts of him just using like Christian paintings and then just slapping random anime girls over it with some edgy quotes, and it was kind of weird to go through.
Yeah, it is weird. Let's continue.
Maybe I shouldn't be simping over them or something. But it's also a really easy post. It is the really easy posts to make about like, oh, I'd like a wife like this. I think the one where I put of Nagisa, which is like looking for a wife like this, which is, I still have a soft spot for Clannad. So.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But the truth of the matter is, you want a wife like XYZ thing, you kind of got to be in a position where, number one, somebody like that's going to be interested in you, and number two, you got to be able to support someone like that. And the way he's going, that's just not going to happen.
I definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that one is kind of in between. I get the style is very... Yeah, it's like this very, very dark gray art style, so it's kind of like, okay, kind of hard to tell. So, if this is, as you say, it's something you're still figuring out, and it's not the intention to be sexual, then it's just that.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because, like, of course, or I shouldn't say unfortunate, because I think with anime, right, I'm still, like, of course, because I'm 21, like, I can't keep cosplaying as a high schooler, right? Like, oh, I'm still under 18. So I think...
Yeah, you shouldn't be cosplaying as, like, a kid when you're an adult. Like, I don't care. It's weird.
I think it depends.
If you're cosplaying, like, physically at a convention, that's one thing, but if your entire online presence is you're trying to convince people that you're a school kid when you're in your 20s, brother, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's what I'm referring to here. That is freaking weird.
You can still cosplay, just nothing sexual.
Yeah. Because in my mind, especially when a lot of these anime are targeted towards, like, high schoolers, so it's kind of normal for, like, high schoolers. If they were into, like, anime girls, then it's normal for them, because it's like it would be the same age. But it's less normal for me. Yeah. So that's something I'm still reflecting on. And yeah. But at the same time, it's like, I know there are a bunch of anime out there as well. I know there's recently with, like, anime girls in, like, an office context where they still look, like, youthful, like.
Okay, this is a stupid side tangent, but I have this really big pet peeve if people just start eating mid-talking. It's I hate. I'm so mad.
You and Vlad share that, but also, I'm sorry, but older women are just better. Like, I almost want to say objectively, it's like, oh, I like the younger, cute women. Brother, older women, they are the best. No, they are the best.
And they still have that anime art style. So it does get complicated there as well, because yeah, I'll kind of show you what I mean, right? Which is, what was it? Senpai office worker anime, and they're really bad as well. So it's nothing I enjoy, but I still remember when this came out, which is like something like this, right? Where she's got like childlike proportions, but in Japan,
I mean,
it's kind of normal because, like, it is the face. It is the face.
No, it is not normal in Japan for adults to have childlike proportions. But does this guy not know what, like, neotness features are? Does he not know that the body change? What the heck?
The rest is like,
but
I get the argument, but at the same time, well, that is obviously a fucking busty ass woman.
Yeah, with, like, a childlike face. So
yeah. You know.
Hey, well, thanks for bringing this up to me.
Of course.
That's good. Do you usually watch my videos, or you're just a chillin'?
I am a casual, or like a more closer person to Lio Convoy, and he did recently cover you. And who was it? Templar, whatever the hell.
I did watch that. I haven't watched the full stream yet.
And I saw the tweets because I was like looking through it, and then I was like, Question mark, question mark, question mark, what the fuck? Let me talk to the guy, what the hell?
Wait a minute. Did he go through some of my tweets in that stream?
I don't think he did specifically, but I just scrolled back to just see what's going on. Like, I didn't scroll all the way back, I just scrolled back a few months, so I didn't, like, actually go through everything. That would be way too much time. I don't have.
Some of the things I recognize on Twitter, because there's some of the stuff I've said in the past was like really there was just a period of me for a couple of months where I was just troll posting about me eating dogs, and how I like eating, because it's a funny Filipino stereotype, right? Which is like,
oh yeah,
ha ha ha,
I did
he's
see a
Filipino.
post of that. That's true.
Fun fact, he lied about that in the call because he didn't tell me it was originally a joke against Chinese people. He changed it to a Filipino thing.
Well, it's also Filipino, but yeah, very serious. It very clearly started with like a Chinese stereotype joke based on the images he posted.
You know, because I looked back. I think I saw it in the server too, and I put it in the thread, where he said that, where he made a post about something Chinese and Chinese people eating dogs, and then he in the call said, "Oh yeah, I said it about myself as a Filipino joke, but it wasn't about himself originally."
Well then.
Yeah.
So I still remember doing that, and at the time it was really funny. But when I posted about the ban porn stuff, some of the people went back through my posts and they're like, not only does this guy want to ban porn, but he also eats dogs. Look how evil he is. So this was just,
oh no. Yeah, it doesn't mix well.
Yeah. So you know what? I'm fine with it being. I think there's stuff in my Twitter past that will come back to bite me, but
I mean, if you want to, because I want to be upfront, okay? I do record conversations with other people sometimes, especially when it's more serious, but I don't always upload them. But if you want to, because this is a genuine and very chill conversation, and quite pleasant, honestly, I can show that as like, okay, that was just a joke thing, it's not that deep.
Yeah. I don't mind though, because I think this is where I've come to right now, with all my internet stuff, because I'm sure it'll come back to bite me. Stuff that I've said in the past, I think everyone, especially people who watch me, people who subscribe to me, they know that I've probably changed some things that. I've changed my mind on a lot of things actually, over the past 2 to 3 years. So it's not.
It doesn't hurt to just
I think
clarify.
everyone. Yes, of course, it doesn't hurt to clarify, of course, but I think there's also some joy that I find anyway in people thinking that I actually eat dogs, and I know there is going to be like a huge contingent of people who will always hate me for having eaten a dog. Now, as much as I can try as hard as I like to clarify and say, no, I don't actually eat dogs and it's just a joke, is it going to reach all of those huge contingent? There's still going to be people who are going to continue to. So that's where I've kind of come to in that conclusion, that people are going to come to their own conclusions about my content, about what I've said, and try as I might to change their mind. What I do have control over is I have control over my own platform, and in the future being careful about what I say, but also knowing that,
spoiler alert, he is not careful about what he says.
The people who do follow me, they're gonna be okay if I explain it on stream, or if I explain something on there, and that's the people who really matter to me. It's not like the people who are never going to watch my content or never going to watch my videos in the first place. So
yeah. Don't listen to the
I hope that makes sense. Sorry, say that again.
Don't listen to the glupshadows.
For real. So yeah. Anyway. I hope that makes sense though, in terms of where
That's the
it comes to
healthy
that,
way
'cause-
to handle platforms. That is like literally what
Yeah.
everyone recommends. Like that is the best way to go.
Yeah. And of course, if I need to apologize for something, then I will apologize for it. Like, I know with the, I was about to start another Twitter fire because I was recently with one of my mods. I was like, hey, do you wanna like cosplay being in a homosexual relationship for a bit? And it was funny at the time, and I was like, okay, let's post it on Twitter. And then I realized, okay, no, this is gonna start another Twitter fire. So,
For a guy who rages against the gays so much, that is a really weird thing for him to want to upset people with. Like, seriously, if you're a Christian, why are you doing that? Like, seriously. And I know he's listening, so maybe he can make an explanation for it.
yeah, it's a bad part of my personality, which is like, I like trolling and
Actually, if he has an explanation for it, he can still DM me. My DMs are still open.
For now.
like
So-
making jokes.
It wouldn't surprise me if he removes you from this server after all this.
And I recognize that most normal people aren't into that like dark humor or dark edgy humor, right? So, yeah.
I mean, with things like that, it's okay. If you want to be serious, you either separate it or you own it and just pull through.
Mm.
That's kind of just a lane you have to pick in that regard.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah. I mean, that's it.
It's like the same with
was that
Beckett.
all
He
you-
covers serious shit, but it can also be like a dickhead and joke about things. But he still
Yeah,
keeps
yeah.
like the serious things a bit separate.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah. Was that all that you wanted to ask me about?
That is the one thing I saw and thought, okay, maybe just let's talk about it. So I don't really have anything else for now.
Oh, that's all good. In terms of the other things, at some point, I thought you were going to also, because I know some people are probably going to bring up like my ties to the far right, which at some point I'll make a video about, which is like, you know, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing, but I'm not far right now, and I don't have a lot of far right friends anymore because they all disown me. But I know that's another big thing that I think Lio or however you say his name, Lio Convoy is probably gonna still haunt me on. So yeah, that's it.
Well, the problem was you put your ties to them out like a positive. And while you may not be around them now, you still hold on to their values and you still joke like them. So it seems to me it's your ties to the far right were cut by them, not by you. And that's a problem. Now, he's worried about me haunting him over this. Funny thing is he instead does that to other people. The boy here and his little pals do the devil's work, unironically. So, let's continue.
Well,
Anyway,
it
this was-
isn't
Oh, that's you on the recording,
a
okay?
good political way to see things, but since it's not a thing anymore, I don't think it.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Hey, well, thanks for bringing that up to me. I'm still in my thinking stage, but I think you've made me think about it for a bit.
Mhm.
And I will definitely be careful in the future in regards, especially with like the lolly imagery, especially the lolly imagery. I will, I've made a firmer stance in recent days because another friend of mine challenged me on that.
Yeah. That is not as true as he would like to say.
Yeah. Continue.
Yeesh.
Which is why I don't think I'll be defending lollies in the future anymore. So, yeah. But in terms of the other, like, looking young, I'm still developing my thoughts on it, because on one hand, yeah, they do look like high schoolers, but on the other hand, there's still people who are like 25 who still look young as if they were 14. So I literally know someone she's a short Asian woman and she could pass off as if she was like still in high school. So
I guess it also
yeah.
just depends on the setting as well.
Yeah.
If the setting is more mature, people won't be so up in arms about it. But if it's like high school, of course there will be like big side eyes on it.
So yeah. Well, thanks for talking. Just so you know, I think you've got like a this will come out of nowhere, but you've got a really cute voice, by the way. So yeah. Because man, if I'm criticized by like a guy, it's like so dull, and it's just like, oh man, I'm gonna lose it at this point. But if it's from a woman, especially if she's got a cute voice, I'm happier to listen. So anyway.
So interesting.
It was quite awkward. I didn't really know how to react to that. So I just kind of tried to laugh it off.
Yeah, Pod, if that is true, it's just so dull, you've never had a one-on-one call with me. We both know why. There are a lot of things I am. Dull ain't one of them. If the problem is that you prefer women to correct you, like, brother, you can't be as weird as you have been about women in general. Good Lord. Unironically, good Lord. What is wrong with you? And are you flirting with Smout here? Because I can promise you she's not smitten. Now, I do know she has an adorable voice. We give her head pats and a juice box, but that's not the point. It's a really weird thing to tell her when you just first talk to her. Really weird.
Lamau. I see the feminist speaking.
No, it's all good. All right. If I'll see you around, I'll see you around. Do you do any other content other than art, or you're just...
I haven't really started making content yet. Actually, life too busy to actually...
Yeah, that's true. What are you studying at uni? I noticed in your bio you're a student.
I am in a...
No, the call is almost over, but I think it's kind of weird that after the compliment he started to go more into what are you doing and what are your interests in the very end of the call.
Yeah. Very strange. Very strange indeed.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit play. Let's finish that up.
Oh, yeah, I need to.
What's it called? Secondary higher education kind of thing, but I actually cancelled a contract because of family reasons, but I still have to go there for the year.
I gotcha.
A lot of stupid things.
Okay. Yeah, that's all good. All right. If we chat more, we'll chat more. But if you just joined the server to ask me that's all good as well. So
we'll see if I stick around.
Yeah. All good. All right. Thank you, Smout. I hope you have a good rest of your afternoon.
Thank you. You too, podcast.
All right, so that's the end of that call. I can close that out. Now I'm going to take a minute to set some things up here, but what I've done is I have posted in the chat a poll. And what's the purpose of this poll? For you guys to determine what you want us to cover first when it comes to the stuff that have been found about him.
Oh Lord, here we go.
So please vote in whatever way you guys feel you need to while I get this all pulled up.
Also, no, I did not block him. As I said, I did talk a bit more with him in DMs because I wanted to have another call actually with him because after that I did start digging a bit more and started finding more information. And he suddenly wasn't willing to talk to me anymore because I got more critical.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. He doesn't seem to take criticism well. And to be clear, I know he thinks he's not, but he's somewhat new to YouTube. He's gotten a larger following. Pod, you're gonna get more criticism. And it's gonna be by harsher people than me at some point. Toughen up. Because you sit there and you'll say, yes, Smout. Because you'll sit there and you'll say that you got a pretty thick skin, maybe to basic insults, but you don't to criticism. Like, you lose it at criticism. Stop crying. Like, seriously. So let's see here. Now I need to share the screen with the Smoot. One moment. Window.
Pod, you were so lucky that someone like me who actually can kindly talk about situations came to you instead of somebody going all arms ablaze.
True. So we're going to switch
Other
over.
people will scream at you.
Yeah, and it's going to get uglier. So we're going to switch over now to the reading screen since... Oh, hold on. We've got a tie between the creepiness and the Nazi stuff. So you guys got to make up your minds. Got to make up your minds before I switch over to the screen. And both went down.
Oh, Lord. Oop, just moved.
Oh, this is hilarious. Let me see here.
Oh,
like...
flashbang.
Yeah, I know.
Looks like Vietnam flashbacks.
Alright, looks like we're going to do the Nazi stuff first. So let's go ahead and just get on to that, onto the reading screen. Hello, Smoot.
Hello.
Alright, so this is obviously a screenshot taken in the Europeans' fashion. So instead of the right way to have date, the month is in the middle, the day here. So this is literally just last month, him posting anime girls with Nazi regalia on, talking about how cute they are. And do I really need to get into scripture about why you shouldn't be posting stuff like this about all of that? Like, why are you identifying with evil to this point? This is a guy who rages about trans and gay people, but Nazis are fine? Well, wait a minute. Maybe that's a tell. This is a problem. This is why... We're going to get into it more, but you guys will see why. If Protogen did call him a Nazi, I could understand why he'd make that assumption, right? So that's one. Now, this is a conversation between him and Protogen. What he does is public, so I say public things too, since he is too busy for a small person like me. Now, Podcast said that the Nazi uniform, still a based outfit. Protogen says the outfit is amazing craftsmanship, which unfortunately is true, but what it stands for is vile, based. Go ahead, Smout. Go ahead and read Podcast statement.
Oh, Lord. Okay, what's so wrong with cute anime girls cosplaying in Nazi uniforms?
What's so wrong with cute anime girls cosplaying in Nazi uniforms? Brother, what are you winking at here? Like, seriously. Why do you get so close to that edge? What's the point of that? Who are you reaching there? Who are you making happy? Who are you professing Christ to with this? Nobody. Now, this is a conversation I had with Protogen, and I will have to zoom in and scroll down so you guys will see it better. So, pay attention to what Protogen says, because this comes from a conversation, I believe. It could be incorrect. Maybe it is. Hopefully, because I don't like what I'm seeing here. In the old Discord server, there was real Nazis. Let's talk about Podcast old server. Possibly, so they removed them and made a new Discord server. I did get to say how posting the Nazi and KKK stuff might get Nazis and KKK... Get out.
Who, me?
Yes, read the room.
God damn it.
I literally say... And by the way, Smout's not Christian, but avoid that, please, Smout. It literally says on the voice chat, streaming, do not enter, and Doofus pops in. Anyways. In their server, and eventually it sounded like a threat, to which some extent, yes, it was a warning, although I don't have any Nazis to bring to the server, I just wanted to mention that. If your content and conduct is getting Nazis to come in your server because they think they're going to be okay to... I'm going to start banning people.
Read the damn room. No, get out. God damn it.
Find that person, time them out, please. Anyways, if you are getting that type of people thinking that what they're going to spread is going to be fine in there, that's a problem. Like, for example, Vlad, Gilded Pooh, he is very edgy. He's also not a Christian. The man's a stout atheist. Like, he gets insanely angry if people assume that he's a Christian, right? So, when he did edgy crap on his YouTube channel, he was attracting those people, and he couldn't stand it. So what did he do? He stopped it. Podcast hasn't learned that yet. So moving on to the next one. I said moving on to the next one. Read. More anime girls and Nazi regalia. What is the fascination with Nazis here? And again, this is in the same month. It's in October. What's the interest here? And I know that I could lock the chat down, but I would require my server members to learn how to read. But what's the point? Why would you put this out there as a positive? Because he's not saying this is bad. He's not giving it as an example of what you shouldn't do. He thinks this is fine. That's a problem. A Christian should not think dressing up like a Nazi is fine. Another one here. Okay, Smout, I'll let you read podcast.
I don't see something wrong with dressing up as Jeffrey Dahmer on Halloween, skull emoji. I'd find it actually funny.
If Hitler was a fictional character, then I wouldn't have a problem personally, but he's not.
You know, I've actually dressed up as a Nazi for a costume party, because it's a funny joke. Like, there's nothing sinful about it.
But as a Christian, do you think God would be okay with that? It's not what you think, it's what the Lord thinks. Hitler senpai, don't gas them. Okay, buddy. Don't cut yourself on all that edge. No, but like, yeah. Why would you dress up like a Nazi? What's the prudence there? How is it funny? And more importantly, why would you think a Christian would find that acceptable? Now, I would ask what the people in his church think of this. But he doesn't want them to see this. And yes, I do know that Dahmer was real too, obviously, and I don't think you should dress up as Jeffrey Dahmer either, because he has people who have been affected by his actions that are still alive. Like, you've taken something horrible that is harming people in the modern day, suffering that they're still going through, and you're turning it into a joke. It's unacceptable. Now, here he says, I like Shondo. Now, Shondo is a VTuber who, how do I put this? Doesn't exactly come off as very adult. Now, I don't know if Smout's going to hear this, but we're going to find out what the context for this is. So, Smout, you're going to have to stay quiet for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to go find it again. One moment. Because it's not playing like it should. Boop. Open with photos.
Hi, I'm new here. Is this the Mommy Hitler streamer?
Yes.
Okay, new RP. I'm Hitler and I'm your mom.
Do your homework, or you're not joining it on the Reich. Okay, kiddo, it's time we get you to bed. Mommy's got some friends to visit. Auntie Stalin? Yeah, Mommy's gotta go pay a little visit to her. Oh, you said you wanted a glass of juice?
That's what he likes about Shondo. Now, again, if he wasn't a Christian, we wouldn't have this concern. We'd still think it's weird, but we wouldn't have this concern. But what is it about Nazis that you find so fascinating and so adorable? What is it about Nazis you find so funny? Because I don't find them funny. I find them horrific. And if you're a Christian and you think Jews are God's chosen people, per Old Testament law, why would you be okay with a group that tried to exterminate them?
Can I just say, as a fellow German, or someone who lives in Germany, it is very fucking tasteless. And if you would be here, it would actually be downright illegal to do.
Which, by the way, podcast apparently has a mentality that whatever the law is, you should follow it. So maybe he should just move to Germany to solve the whole problem. So, we've seen that. Let's go see if we can get to the creepiness, since that was the next thing. And I've got a whole bunch of things here. So. Oh, there. Now it wanted to pop up. Why am I not surprised? All right, so This is the first one. I'm sorry to give you guys an aneurysm. Where he says he wishes he had a little sister and has this little image of a role play. You guys, you'll find out the art later. Don't worry. Why? You didn't eat your veggies, did you? I promise next time. No, Oni-chan. It is not a good boy. Please don't clip that. Now, it's creepy to begin with, right? But I want to go ahead and point something out here. You see that she's got here? That's not a normal mic. That's an ASMR mic.
It's a silicone ear.
It's a little girl whispering into an ASMR mic. There is no good reason for that to ever happen. There's something wrong there. And I don't believe for a second he didn't know that. Next up, The Dream. I don't know, man. A little small. And again, this is one of the images that Smout came at him about, right? And he deleted it from Twitter. Didn't delete it from his YouTube channel, which is his largest following. Probably shouldn't have put this guy. Next up, Be Fruitful and Multiply. Now, he says that one of the reasons he was brought to the faith was a cartoon called Bochi to Rock, or Bochi to Rock. I have not watched it. I'm 40. I have no desire to. But inherently, there's a problem here. Who here remembers how old Podcast said in the call he had with Smout? Type it in the chat. How old was he?
He is my age.
Which is probably why he flirted with you.
Yeah.
Ephraim got it right. 21, right? Bochi ages between 15 and...
Fuck off.
Who was that?
Vlad.
Oh. Between 15 and 17... and he's 21. Now, I can perhaps understand with good faith that he probably didn't think of the age. I get that. I do. Especially if he saw this anime when it came out and he was younger, right? Some people have the mentality that the characters essentially age with them. It's a long, in-depth conversation, but brother, you've got to think about these things before you put stuff like this out. Like, you have to. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. We're talking about Christianity, Vlad. You're going to want to skedaddle.
I think he actually drew it himself.
I don't know, and it's not my concern. But don't unironically...
He did come...
Go ahead.
Because he did complain about not getting fan art, and that if he would get fan art, he wouldn't have to do edits like that.
That's weird. Okay. But, like, this is giving an appearance of evil, dude. Like, you're 21. And you want to be a high school teacher. And it's going to get worse, by the way. And again, I am not calling him predatory. I am not calling him a pedophile. I think he's not thinking. I think he is not putting actual logic to what he is putting out there and getting the numbers together. Frankly. So, apparently his problem with Chainsaw Man, the anime, isn't the unironic deals with devils, isn't the demonic that is, let's be honest, it is glorified in there. It's the fact that it has titties, right? Now, at least Makima's an adult. That's a plus, but Makima's also an absolute monster. Why would you put this on your channel under any circumstance? Why would you do that?
That's his Instagram.
Oh, it's even worse, on his Instagram. Why would you do that? Because I know he's talked about this on his channel before, too. But why? Why would you put this out there? If you're supposed to be professing Christ, why would you put out there that how down bad you are for Makima like this? Dude, it's weird. Next up. This is his waifu tier list. Now, you guys are probably going to complain about the quality of the image. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? But don't worry. We got you covered. Boom.
I got you.
Boop. So, here is his girlfriend waifu list. So, his wife is Bochi. I know that she actually has a name, but I don't know it. Make wife immediately. Brother, there's like 2 adults here, I think. Maybe 3. Almost a Wife. I recognize one of these characters as a wife in terms of like they could be of age to be so, and that's Frieren here. Because again, older women are based. Not a problem with that. Like this one doesn't even look close to an adult. Passing Gray.
No.
I actually have no clue. Makima gets the Passing Gray. That's the sadist. The murdering sadist. And Kirisu. Yeah. So like we have what, 2, maybe 3? Again, I don't know all these characters because I have a job. But no. Stop. Please stop. Please stop. Girlfriend material. I am definitely showing my age. I don't think I recognize much of any of these people.
The top right is defo a girl.
Yeah.
The blue head.
Yeah, definitely a minor, it looks like, based on the uniform. And down here, we have I Can Fix Her. Interesting, Makima's not in this, but gonna go ahead and say it, that the Nagatoro girl, brother, look at what the mangaka did before he did Nagatoro. You're going to want to gouge your eyes out. You'll never watch that anime again. Then, Fail. I think has the higher amount of adults in it, which is weird. And then Disqualified has things you can't even sit there and say are not children, because they obviously are absolutely children. This is a problem. Brother, don't put this crap out there. Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? This makes you look like a creep. Stop. Boop. And then he says, I like lollies. Now, I want to be very clear. He is not saying he is a lolicon. And we're going to get to his explanation. We're going to hear what he says. Give me a moment. Time to make you all lose it. He says, I don't support lolicons because they're very mentally ill. That's a way to put it. Pedophile leaning people. No, they're not pedophile leaning. I want to make this very clear. A pedophile is not just someone who molests a child. A pedophile is not someone who just sexually violates a child. A pedophile is somebody who is attracted to children, who is sexually wanting a child, who is sexually attracted to that. It does not make a distinction between a real person and a fictional one. So, they aren't just pedophile leaning, they are pedophiles. Lollies, on the other hand, can be very cute. Remember, it's referring to a body type, not an age. Not really. So characters like whatever all this is are really cute, not gonna lie. Girls und Panzer has some really good lolly characters too. Brother. And also, I am in favor of adult lollies. Kill me. Because previously disclosed, I do have a female friend in real life who has a lolly body type, so it's not unrealistic. I sure hope you don't tell her that. I really hope you don't tell her that. So, that's his explanation. Do I think he's a predator? Do I think he's a pedophile? Dude, no. No, Vlad, I am so not letting you on. I am not letting you on, Vlad. Not this time. Let's get back to where we were. So. So, Shondo, again, he thinks is cute, which can be fine. But Soul Art Co. says, I'm pretty sure she's a lolicon. She makes sexual jokes about herself while she wears a child avatar. Gross. Podcast, she's not a child, she's a lolly. If you are presenting yourself online as a minor, and your body looks like a minor, and you're being sexual about yourself, burn. Oshinoko is a Christian anime. Now, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm thinking of a different anime, but isn't this the one that, like, has a guy who likes children, who's put in, like, a new life where he's this character's kid? Am I thinking of another one? Because I heard about this one and I hated it. Like, this is why I watch the older stuff, man. This is why I like Fist of the North Star. Ain't got none of this crap in it. It's just you punch people and they explode.
I watch food animes, not this kind of shit.
Of course you watch food anime. Such
You're
a
so
woman.
aesthetic.
You're such a woman.
And they actually look good. I actually learned some cooking stuff from it.
Oshinoko is the one I'm talking about. So I don't know if you guys know or not. I don't know. That's why I asked. So, So now we're going to talk, since we talked about the nice stuff, let's talk about the dog whistle. Now, I don't often like this phrase because often it's dishonest. But this one, I think, needs to be said. So, how to spot a Christian anime fan. Watches Frieren, KO, Girls and Panzer, and Boki the Rock. Loves Jesus. Well, I would hope you'd have to love Jesus to be a Christian. Likes anime because they hear God speak through it. All right. Anti-fan service because it leads to sin. We'll get into that later. Here's the problem. Hashtag total demon death. Now, anybody who has watched this channel knows I am absolutely not pro-demon. Very much so anti-demon. But why am I taking issue with this? Because of what it comes from. This is a variation of a different meme. That is total inward death. That's where that comes from. That's a dog whistle. That's the problem. Praying for a revival in Japan. The problem is you can't really have a revival in Japan because they never had much in the way of a strong Christian presence to begin with. Just want to point out the whole reason pedos are attracted to kids is because they view the cuteness, innocence as sexually attractive. Him saying lollies are cute is a red flag. It might be. It might be.
Wait, aren't they based on Hinduism?
Aren't who based on him? No. They're primarily Buddhist or Shinto. But there's look at some point I plan on doing a video about Christianity in Japan based on the comic series that was recently done by Stan Sakai with Usagi Yojimbo, because I love that comic series. He did it really well. Biggest Shinzo Abe stands outside of Japan. I don't even know who that is. Why is Trump here? Why is a pedophile in here? All right, so what else do we have? Now, this is just... I'm not here to make fun of him. I'm not going to make fun of him all this, all right? I'm here to correct. If you are running a server and you are the authority there, you shouldn't be dumping your emotional issues in the server in general. If you are struggling, yes, reach out to your friend without question. But don't do this and then don't post stuff like this. Because you're going to worry people. And you're going to scare them. This is something you need to take to your family, to your church, or to your close friends. I want you to be okay. But posting publicly like that is not going to do you any good. And the people who do not like you are going to weaponize it. I'm not going to, because that crosses a boundary here. If you touch kids, I would. But you haven't done that, so it crosses a boundary. I'm not going to do that to you. Now, here's where we get into the homophobia. He says here, higher rates of divorce, HIV diagnoses, domestic violence, infidelity. Happy Pride Month. I really, really wish a lot of these people who profess Christianity cared about the things God told us to care about and concerned themselves with the sins more talked about than whether or not gays exist. Seriously, I'm kind of tired of it. More Christians concern themselves with what the gays are doing than they do whether or not the poor are being taken care of, or whether or not the widows and the orphans are being taken care of. Like, seriously, they are. There's lolicon abuse. We'll get into this guy in a bit here. Now, we're going to talk about his views on porn. Again, not exactly a fan of porn myself. I'm a Christian, right? Now, he says, in light of recent discourse on Twitter, ban porn. Now, you can believe porn should be banned. Inherently, there's nothing specifically wrong about that. The problem is the reason why. And this is the reason why. Again, I'm not going to make fun of him for this. That would be beneath me. But he says, for those of you who didn't know, yes, I was a hentai addict, and yes, that's why I want to ban porn. Trying to enforce or telling people to ban something because of your weakness is not how you go about doing things. We're also not called to do it. We are not called to enact laws. We're not called to do any of that. We're called to do what? Spread the gospel. Nothing more, nothing less. The gospel does not demand us taking over governments. It doesn't demand us taking over the world. If that were the case, why would there be a further kingdom? Why would God build a kingdom here after the tribulation? It'd be pointless, right?
Also, it's simply up to you to actually acknowledge that if you have a problem, to distance yourself from said problem instead of putting it onto others to solve it for you.
Yep. What is it Jesus said? Pluck out your eye, cut off your hand. It's your problem, not theirs. Now, let's talk about the racism. Now, I want to be very clear. The racism in this isn't the image itself. And you guys are going to think that's weird. Give me a moment. Miss Freeman, we can't do that. This is not anything to do with the KKK. He's making it sound like it, but it's not. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but there is a Catholic order of penitents, which is what the KKK stole the look of, right? They severely predate them. This is an image of a Catholic penitent woman that surfaced online, and somebody redrew it as Freeman, right? The problem is the implication. He knows why he's saying this. He knows that a lot of people don't know what a penitent is, doesn't know what this is about, so he knows people are going to assume this KKK. It's not, but that's why he's joking about it. Next up, I advertise with this, by the way, so people are joining because they like the party ad. Podcast sign, Republican Party, loves black people, would buy one for his cotton farm.
Oh my god.
Remember, Christian anime podcast. This is acceptable to you? Will this be acceptable to your church? The answer is no. Not if you have an actual Bible-believing church. And then we have this. And of course, look, if you're a Christian and Vlad's saying based and he's a staunch atheist, there's a problem. Jesus Christ is definitely my... You know what he's getting at. Next up. Come on, man. What about this podcast do you think exemplifies Christianity? What about this do you think is edifying? Now, I did not share the rest of this because what he did was he quote tweeted another Christian Twitter account, her actual face, and she's a redhead. She's adorable. She's a redhead. He said, "Fun fact, but ginger is also an anagram for another very funny word." You guys can do your guesses.
Yeah, poor woman.
Now, he did apologize. Hello, everyone.
Oh,
yeah, I know. White. It's a light mode user. Cursed. Hello, everyone. I have woken up to many people who have been offended because of an edgy joke I made, but I recognize it was inappropriately made considering the subject of the quote retweet. Yes, Vlad, but you are not a Christian. Dork. He's apologizing because of the face, not because of the words used, and not because of the implication. He made that clear in a further post after this, too. Now let's talk about the sexism. Not all of people's will aligns with God. There are times when people's will should be ignored in service of God. Responded with, right, like when a woman denies my request to make a sandwich. Of course, he says this post was fact-checked by real Yuri. I don't even know who Yuri is. Then it becomes a decree. Soul here says, women aren't your slave, buddy. Make your own. Joe, they aren't? No, of course not. Podcast, I want to enslave women. Oh, we apologize for this? Well, then good. Good. But I don't know. Now, this is listed under sexism, not because I really inherently can say it's sexist, but because I didn't know where else to put it. So, one of the things... Oh, God. He banned... I'm sorry. It's so funny because it's just of all the things in the world to ban, he just randomly bans femboys. Zach will never be able to come into this server. But on top of that, brother, how are you going to reach the lost without letting them in? Like, is this just like a moose's lodge for you?
Thought he was pro-gay.
He's not pro-gay. He's very anti-gay.
I know, but it's ironic because he claims both at the same time.
Not quite. This Atkinson server widened all channels. This means no posting images of femboys, character whatsoever, cute posting, Chad posting, waifu wars, etc. So you can post the teenagers, but you can't post the femboys. To quote Redix, men who are into feminine things can exist and still be masculine, but a femboy is completely devoid of masculine traits in pursuit of the effeminate. You'd be surprised. It is at the discretion of the moderation team to deem a male character or artwork of said male character too feminine, and at their discretion to take it down. Vlad says you need to be more specific. He isn't anti-gay men. I mean, maybe. More sexism here. This is him putting out, the time span here between technically 1900s all the way to 21 something. And I'm going to show you the actual image in higher quality. So back here, all of recorded history. Good morning, dear. I prepared breakfast for you. Yes, because back in the farming days, men never cooked. Obedient, demure women who make it their duty to serve. Brother, we're all supposed to serve. What is wrong with you? In the middle of this, the age of the Rosie, what a wonderful thing to call somebody made in the image of God. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Brother, that's just true. You've got to be able to handle your partner at their worst. You have to.
Yeah.
And then in the future, 2120. Good morning, sir. I prepared breakfast for you. Robot waifus who are made to serve your every need and fantasy. Gross. And here's again a closer up of I want to enslave women. Mick Namara's top moron here. I literally assume all women are liberals until proven wrong. By then, I keep away from all women unless they use indirect weapons against me. I'm pretty sure they stay away from you too, buddy. Podcast. I have met many women where this is not the case. Just try and suss it out. Like, there's a reason why conservative women stay quiet. They feel unsafe among their peers. Huh. So they need a guy to be outwardly conservative. There's no point in being a conservative. They can serve nothing. So they can also speak up while you have their back. And then, of course, they talk about Jordan Peterson. Look, if you're getting life advice from Jordan Peterson and you're a Christian, you're failing. Now, here is something that, thankfully, the guy's okay, but I don't care for how he handled this, so I'm going to be talking about it. So one guy says, hey there, guys, sorry to spoil the mood, but anyone know any tricks on how to stop having the urge to put a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger? This happened about 2 weeks ago. A guy actually asking for help. And of course, some guy says he'll pray for him and sends him some scripture to help. What does podcast do? Tells him to touch grass.
Poor guy.
Now, thankfully, this guy here is fine. He didn't take the issue with it, but if he's a leader, he needs to do better. And I don't know what the JP Jubilee meme is. I have no clue. And another meme where it's like trans rights, X, trans wrongs, and this is podcast drawn as a woman, because God forbid you actually focus on what God wants you to, you've got to sit there and take shots at trans people, because if Christians put as much focus on what God told them to do as they do obsessing over the trans and the gay, we'd be in a completely different situation now. Kind of tired of it. Reject the lies of transgenderism. Embrace the truth of Jesus Christ. Well, I believe you should embrace the truth of Jesus Christ. Not a problem. I absolutely believe that. But you'll never see him posting this. About a drunk? About liars? About his own political party? All of that. You'd never see him do it. Why? Because he puts culture over Christ. He puts his political values over Christ. If you are a Christian, that has to be above your politics. Period. And then we have him using a slur against them. Which is interesting, because we're going to get into the topic of his slurs here again shortly, because he's very much so happy with using them. Somehow he thinks that's acceptable. And he apparently told one of his mods, who trusts him 100%, that it's accurate, without looking himself. You're a moron for that, by the way. Trusts him that I had no counter at all for him bringing up that Jesus insulted somebody. An insult and a slur are not synonymous. They are not one and the same. And I made that very clear in the stream. Go back and watch it. Podcast, if you didn't pay attention, put down the manga and look. This is ridiculous. There are better ways to respond to an issue. And this is him defending Trump. From Nuxtaku, of all people. Brother, I don't trust Nuxtaku on the same continent as an elementary school. Name one Christian value Trump is fighting for. These people think love thy neighbor is the only verse in the Bible. It is the greatest commandment said by Christ. And he lists a whole slew of things. Now, I'm not going to go through this and point out how asinine this is. This can be said about a lot of rulers, including actual fascists from history, communist leaders. This is dumb. I'm saying podcast values, Gilded, ally more with atheism than Christianity, yes. I think you'd be better off just actually embracing Christ. Now, let's see what else we have here. So we have the sexism, the racism, the porn take, the Nazi stuff. We'll get to the mod here in a minute. Did I have anything before the creeps?
So much stuff.
No, I didn't. So, funny thing is, Lio liberal based. I'm not a liberal. I politically identify as angry. So the interesting thing is, this guy talks constantly about anime, about cute girls and all that. So what was his initial take when I did my first stream on him earlier this year? Why did Shondo pop up? Because he really likes Shondo when she's cosplaying as a Nazi. That's why. Boop, boop. So here's how his people responded to my first stream on him. The boomers have found me, and I'm not going away. I'm not going away, podcast. This guy gives me Gen X vibes. Thank you. Oh, yikes. Oh, yeah, I watched a couple of minutes, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. Bob, you couldn't handle a debate with me about scripture for 5 minutes. You lost your mind. Don't even. Podcast. Yeah, I'm skimming through the stream, and he's one of those enlightened centrist types who thinks all politicians bad, but he's still definitely a Christian, though. I am a Christian, and yes, I think all politicians bad. I think every single one of them's a kid toucher. I'm not an enlightened centrist, though. Never claimed to be enlightened, never claimed to be a centrist. Centrists can't decide on anything. I can. This guy seems to talk about other animated things on his channel. I guess he is against saying animated thing is Christian. Yes, I am, unless it actually is. Oh, hey, just so you know, he's done a review on a Common America figure, and the figure is certainly not something I would have bought. Common America is an indie comic character whose outfit essentially has the same amount of skin coloring as Wonder Woman. So, putting a waifu list that has teenage girls in it is fine, but an adult woman with adult proportions action figure review is a problem? The heck is wrong with you?
What?
He says that me being against saying the anime is Christian is why I am omega cringe. He separates faith, politics, and ideology. No, I put faith above all of it. Of course he reviewed that figure. Oh no. End of the world. Bro, this guy has figures about videos about anime figures. Yeah, I also have a whole bunch of Transformers. But yeah, I guess he just likes to
claim you're Christian.
No, I don't. And the one Christian toy line that's out there, I am not buying anything from. But yeah, I guess he just likes to separate theology from media. Maybe he thinks it makes him smarter or more holy. No, I don't. I just think that's the same thing to do. Actual boomer moment. Brother, if you paid attention, it wouldn't hurt you. My faith is completely separate from anything that I actually do. Never once said that. If anything, I have people fussing at me for making it more of what I do. The latter part of the stream is him complaining about my associations with the far right. Yeah, and I'm going to do it again if you're still with them. Cringe mindset. Christians should use their faith to influence media, not separate it from it. We're not made to do that. We're told to reach the lost, not influence media. The reason leftists took over media is because they create narratives out of media. That's the entire point of media! There's not a single story that exists that is not trying to convey something to you. It doesn't matter what the story is. It doesn't matter if it's a movie. It doesn't matter if it's a comic. It doesn't matter if you're telling your friend about the checkout lady at Walmart that you had problem with. There's nothing else to convince him that you're right. It's always trying to communicate something. What is wrong with you? They put their ideology in the art to make everybody does. There's not a single human being that doesn't. I remember Hassan tried to argue One Piece with communists. Well, I don't like Hassan. Gonna dislike his vid. I am been undone. I have been undone!
The rage.
Hold up. This dude said, why do Christians care so much about the gays when gossip is a much bigger issue? What I actually said was there's like maybe 3 scriptural verses that talk about the gays. Gossip is mentioned negatively over 100 times. The Bible's pretty clear about which it seems to be a bigger issue. He's also not sure if Bible is against homosexuality because scholars are actually arguing it. Because I actually look at what Scripture says, and I read into it, and I find the original meaning, and I find the context. Yeah, this dude's just disingenuous. Do you even know what that means? Yeah, I'm done. He's relying on insults. Brother, you're fine with insults. I was going to say, I do have a pretty thick skin, so I wasn't super bothered. But I think he did have some good criticism, which I'm going to take on, like using more scripture to justify my points rather than speaking Christian generalisms, which is good.
He was too scared to even talk to you.
Yeah, and he is still. As much so. Now, they talk about somebody else's take, which has had nothing to do with mine. Yada, yada, yada. Boop, boop, boop. So.
I scrolled further than I wanted to.
Yeah, so let's see here. Now, I was talking to Protogen because initially there were concerns that he was being weird and obsessive. I did that to try to calm things down because the mods were antsy to ban him. And in talking to him, he doesn't seem to have any negative intentions. So I wanted to smooth that over. Because regardless of what people think, generally when I go somewhere, I'm trying to help. If I'm there to cause problems, you will find out a lot quicker. But I was banned from this server. What did I do? What did I do to get me banned? Let's get into that. We're going to get into that, talking about his cowardice. The moderation team did a background search on Lio Convoy, and there's stuff which we found we just weren't comfortable with. We are completely respectful of Lio's opinions, and if he's changed from his past actions, then that's absolutely amazing. I don't have any doubt in my mind that Lio is a brother in Christ. However, everyone, that includes myself, and those on the moderation team, are very much value our privacy, and we do not want a guy who has a history of doxing people, orbiting around any of us, especially when the content, which I'm making on the channel, that Lio disagrees with, is really benign and not that particularly harmful. No, it actually is harmful. And I pointed that out. It's not benign. You are telling people that ways they are acting is okay, when it's not. It's not Christ-like at all. It's not benign. Our Discord has a culture of unity, as well as the different denominations between Protestants, Catholics, and Orthodox folks that we want to continue to preserve. Though more importantly, a culture of trust, of having cultivated a lot of friendships would have become very deeply personal. A lot of us very close to each other now, particularly while we're all on VC, and thus the threat of doxing for any of us is a key concern. I want to be very clear about something. If you live in a first world country, and you are a Christian, you should not be afraid of being doxed. What is the worst possible scenario of being doxed? You get swatted, right? Or some lunatic shows up. Defend yourself, and if you die, guess what? Guess what? You go to the Lord. Boom. These people, what he has done is he has said the quiet part out loud. He's scared of being doxed, even though he here's the truth of the matter, right? People say I doxed people like Jack. I didn't dox Jax. Doxing is taking someone's private information and publishing it for malicious purposes. I've not done that to them. Not once have I done that to just some random guy. And certainly not somebody just because I disagree with them. I would much prefer if we just part ways and just agree to disagree, because I don't think we're going to change each other's minds, and both of our time would be better spent doing more productive things. It is not not unproductive at all to point out that you are being dishonest and to point out why you are wrong. I certainly want to get off Riot Lio's radar as soon as possible before any misunderstandings escalate. Let me explain this to you as simply as I can, young man, as I am literally old enough to be your dad. You do not get off my radar by panicking, lying, and banning me, and as Vlad and I can attest, misunderstandings happen when communication is cut. Cutting me
I
out...
actually gave you the option to still contact afterwards, and you still denied it because you're too scaredy cat to even dare to speak to someone.
That's how misunderstandings happen, podcast. So, let's continue on. Boop. Smelt says, it's kind of funny how everyone harps that if it was actually a consistent thing. Are you aware that he only doxes himself in pedos? Yes, I have doxed myself, and I will continue to do it. People search at me Transformers. So unless you're into kids, you have nothing to be afraid of. Now, it's interesting what he says here. Hey, look, we're not taking any chances, and I've been long enough on the internet to know the word pedophile can mean anything and everything, particularly against someone you disagree with, and increasingly has been used as a slur, thank you for the sub, against anime fans in recent times. So now slurs are a problem when it affects you. And regardless whether he just doxes a particular group of people, the background check from the mod team indicates a wider range of people who have been doxed. And even if he did not intend to dox us, the threat of our online discussions could be recorded at any time is a threat to all of our privacy that we don't want to risk. What are you talking about that you're so scared of going public? If you're a Christian, you shouldn't be afraid. If you're a Christian, why are you afraid of this? Maybe it's because your speech is not good. Maybe it's because as much as your mods want to play pretend they know what they're doing, they have bigger potty mouths than most atheists I know.
Maybe you should practice what you preach.
No, Soda. They just watched his video. Now, I want to be very clear. The reason why his mods did this background check is because they don't like me. Because I wasn't causing problems in the server. You guys are cowards, and God hates cowards. Remember the list you read off that one time? About what will not inherit the kingdom of heaven? What tops that list? Go back and look at it. Now, from a theological point of view, why is it a problem for them to ban me? Because if this was just a server, like, let's say this is Vlad's server. Let's say this is Putopia. It has a single rule. Don't piss off the mods. It's the most consistent they can be. If Vlad banned me today, okay. The reason why a Christian server banning me is a problem is the fact that they call it a Christian server. So, who in the chat knows? Who wrote the majority of the New Testament? Put it in the chat. Who knows?
Also funny, again, how he left the woman with the, unquote, cute voice in the server despite having an argument, and Lio didn't even say dick and all, and just got yeeted because, oh, he's a doxer, unquote.
Now, thank you to those who answered. Paul. Yes, Paul. What was Paul doing before his name change and coming to Christ? Who knows? See if the chat knows. Technically, Jacob, yes, but who? What was he doing with those stones?
With women?
No, actually. Okay, I'll be very clear since the chat's struggling. Paul was a murderer. Because Paul was going around killing Christians for blasphemy. That's who Paul was. Now, to be clear, Paul genuinely thought they were blasphemers. Genuinely, he did. That's why when Jesus showed up and struck him off his horse and asked him, "Why are you kicking against the pricks?" He wasn't just immediately condemned. He was blinded, told to go to the apostles, who were scared of him at first for, obvious reasons. But when he found Christ, what did they do? They welcomed him in, and he became the most prolific writer in the Bible. Paul was a murderer. what do you guys think tends to be a bit more of a problem? Bringing somebody into your spaces who is a murderer or somebody you think is a doxer?
I think the murderer would be worse.
That's why this is not a Christian server, because they don't treat Christians as Christians. They treat them as annoyances to get rid of. These people would reject Paul as well. And that's a problem. This is not Christian behavior. If I had broken the rules, it'd be another matter altogether. But I didn't. Because the truth of the matter is, this is an excuse. If you are scared of your calls being recorded, suck it up. Be an adult. If you're a Christian, you shouldn't be afraid of that. With only the exception of if you're having a real personal conversation and you don't want something personal getting out, that's one thing. I can respect that. But if you are having vile conversations in your server, which does happen, it does. You people are gross and weird in those conversations, and I've gotten in people's faces about it. And they make all sorts of excuses for why they should cuss. That's what you're scared of. The reason he's scared of being doxxed... Go ahead. Go ahead, Smout.
No, finish first.
The reason he's scared of being doxxed is because if his actual behavior is taken from the online presence and put in his real life, people find out what he actually thinks, and there's not a single church I can think of that would find any of this acceptable. It would get back to his church. Now, I want to be very clear, since his mods are scared, especially, what's his name? Let me see here. What is this guy's name again?
Oh, the communist guy.
Saxon Dixie. You don't know enough powerful people to protect you. Sit down and shut up. I'm not going to dox any of you. Stupid. How childish are you? Because apparently one of the reasons he thinks I'm going to dox people is he thinks I'm going to dox people specifically because they are Catholic and Orthodox. I have never once doxed somebody for being Catholic. And here he is in relation to Protogen having the same conversation. Also, I'm not stupid. I can see already where this is going. Where it starts low level, then the accusations come, then the doxing happens. I don't want to dedicate any more time to this matter that I've already committed to. You have guaranteed to have A-logs now because of how you've responded.
Yeah. Also, before we continue jumping,
sure.
I do want to say a little tip, not just Christian-wise, but something you just generally should do if you are essentially a public face. Maybe say public, like, go by the standard of what you say should always be expected to be public, so beware of what you say, no matter when or what. If you don't want, or if you think that a certain kind of expression you put online seems wrong and you don't want it to be shared, then why do you to begin with?
Yeah, and then we have another one where he banned Protogen from the server. He's been banned from the server. Why what? Not my decision. Members of the moderation team were being harassed by him via DMs, and there were some serious false accusations made against them. Evidence? I don't see it. And I've seen his conversation with your other guy. In fact, we're going to get into him now.
Citation needed, evidence required.
Real one. Okay, I want to say real one. Podcast. I know you're in Tactical Templar server, and I know you hopped in there after my stream about him. I know why you went in there. You're not clever, and the fact that you're trying your best to protect a guy who thinks women in a marriage can't be raped, what is wrong with you? No, seriously, what is wrong with you?
It's vile.
Let's see, who is this individual? Boop. Who's this weirdo? Oh, nobody. Cool. Do. Don't care for idiots. Let me see here. On to topic. Actually, before we go into that, I'm going to play you the last voice message he sent Smout, because it's very important. Now, Smout won't be able to hear it, but you guys will. It is 3 minutes long, so I'm going to go ahead and play it. And I'm sure Smout will be quiet about it. Smout did say something beforehand, but that's not really needed for this, so let's just listen.
Alright. When Lyle first came onto the server and when he made that first stream, like, look, I thought literally, I just thought he was this random boomer who was a bit terminally online, and then I was happy. I was kind of happy that he was. I was happy to have him just lurk around, as long as he wasn't causing any trouble. Yada 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 yada. Then we find out about all the other stuff, which we didn't know beforehand. Actually, we didn't do anything behind that, and then we decided, let's take a look, because things are kind of ramping up with that Protogen guy. With the second stream and things like that. So honestly, I don't want this to escalate any further than it has to be. I know the claim is that he claims to only like dox pedophiles, but my impression of it is that he's okay to dox just anyone that he doesn't like, and I'm nearing. I get a sense that I'm nearing to be slowly but surely being put on that list of people he doesn't like, which means I'm not just me, but people on the server as well, who are Catholic and Orthodox. I get a sense that he doesn't like them very much either, or nearing on that list of people he doesn't like. So I'd prefer if we just parted ways and we just don't. That's my thing, which is you do what you're doing, I do what I'm doing. Doesn't have to go any further than this. You still have access to the Discord server, of course, so you're free to do whatever investigation you want. You won't find anything on there. Honestly, the worst you'll find is probably like a bunch of racism and homophobia and sexism, and you know what? I'm fine for that to leak out. Like that's good for the brand. So if you do expose video on that or whatever, right? It doesn't bother me too much. But it's literally just the doxing. Once I found out about the doxing, that's even assuming it was just specifically towards pedophiles, that's like the one cardinal rule on the internet which you don't break, which is you don't breach other people's privacy, which is something we take seriously on the server. So yeah, soz.
Sexism, racism, and homophobia is good for a Christian brand. And to the individual in the chat named Captain Cornpop, Protogen was a slanderer. He took pics of a thread that was meant to tell people stop doing immoral stuff, and he then tried to say that no one should talk to him because of him having a temptation issue. Evidence? Because I actually take issue with that thread too. So, in his server, Podcast has a thread called Accountability, and I'm not going to tell you what is in that thread. I'm not going to embarrass him like that. But it is not a gate-kept thread. It is a thread that women could also access that they shouldn't be able to access due to what's being talked about in there. Have some decency. I don't even know if his server's age-gated, actually, either. So kids can look in there, too, and Podcast, they don't need to know that about you, buddy. They don't need to know that about you. But let's go ahead and talk about one of his mods. Boop, 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 boop. This is Valorian. Valorian is the guy with the unquestionable potty mouth, who apparently got upset over the ape ride wife life good meme, thinking it was sexually coded somehow. But here he is retweeting Stone Toss. Now again, if he was not a Christian, I would not care. No Christian should be retweeting Stone Toss. The dude is vile. He is actually hateful. Nothing he says is edifying. Nothing he said makes sense. He's not a Christian. He's not any of these things. I don't care if he hates the same people you hate. You shouldn't be hating them anyways. That's not the only thing. Here's part of his conversation with Protogen. Telling Protogen, yet you are not Christ-like at all. You are just a dick. Now, I want to be very clear about Protogen. Protogen is very much so on the spectrum. And this is something Valorian has noted in the conversations I've had with him. Which, for the record, are conversations I didn't record. Because I don't often record random group conversations in servers, you cowards. It's like, how? And he puts out conversations about driving things out of the temple, whatnot. He says, apologizing for calling me a rude name, asking for an apology. Valorian says, your problem is that all you do is jab at people for anything they do. No, I won't apologize. I'll hold my statement. Protogen says, may you one day repent of your mistake, if that be God's will. Protogen hasn't done anything morally objectionable that I've seen so far. I've heard some lies. I haven't heard any facts. Next up. Look, I'll give you a choice. Leave people alone and mind your behavior first. Talking about minding the log in your eye instead of the speck in your neighbor's. And Protogen asks a genuine question. What log do you find in my eye? Look at the log in yours, which is fair. And Valorian, instead of answering the question, does the side scribbles and deflects. Does a whataboutism. You have missed the point of that passage. You attack everyone for their faults exclusively. He actually doesn't. You act like you are better than everyone else, and I am sick of it. Brother, I've seen the self-righteousness in that server. It's not from Protogen. So I will give you a choice. You are saying you are better than all the rest of us? Either get off your high horse, or I can ban you from both servers. This is power tripping. This is a man who has never been in charge of anything other than a Discord server, and this is embarrassing. Valorian, you should be embarrassed of this. And I don't care if this was a DM. Suck it up. I think that's all the imagery we have. Just double checking, going through everything. Boop, 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 boop. Yay, all the Nazi imagery again. Yay, I hate it here.
I've taken over the chat.
Which is good. It is your right. Alright, so that is it for all of that. We're going back to the original screen. So what's the purpose of all this? I am hoping, instead of what he is currently doing with his mods, which again, I know you guys are in call, and I know you're watching this, and I know some of you were having absolute meltdowns over it. Grow up and act like you're supposed to. Conduct yourselves as young Christian men instead of this edgy garbage you get from white right-wing spheres and from anime culture. You have a choice to make. You can either follow Christ or you can follow culture. You can't do both. Flatly, you can't. If you think following the Conservative Party is a Christ-like thing, you don't know Christ. Period.
Period.
Christ never called us to be politicians. He never called us to push political values. In fact, Christians tend to have gotten in trouble for helping people in the old days. But now, because they have taken the Bible, and they've tried to make it an American Republican thing, which is not, by the way, it becomes a point of contention. You either serve Christ or you serve a political party. You don't serve both. No man can have two masters. I hope Podcast alters his behavior. I hope he stops being a genuine coward, because that is what you are, Podcast. You are a coward, and God condemns you for it. Repent. And that he changes his behavior, because you are not going to be off my radar. I am going to be keeping an even closer eye on you now. This is ridiculous. Your entire channel gives off the idea of you didn't like that people who were older were saying that anime is bad and you shouldn't watch it, so you try to Christianize anime to stick it to the old people who told you that it was bad. That's a problem. And this is ridiculous.
Especially since you did say it's something you grew up with and still struggle to kind of detach yourself from. If that is really the case, then you should really reconsider what you put on your platforms, because as Lio said, you can't really put a lot of these animes on the level of Christianity, because they're like, half of them are literally filled with demonic things.
So that's kind of all I've got here. We'll see what he does with this. Probably nothing. He probably thinks this is all just blow over. It won't. Because again, there's going to be more people. One thing I do need to see more in the Christian sphere is people criticizing other Christians. Because there's not enough of it. Podcast seems to think that everybody should have a homeostasis. Everything should be fine. No. In fact, there's one more thing I'm going to play from podcast. It was sent to me. I want you all to pay very close attention to it. Just listen. It's about what we'll be able to.
Hello everyone, you know my position on K-On! As the foremost authority on what determines a Christian anime, K-On! Is a Christian anime. It portrays women as they truly are, feminine. No matter what they do, in school or in music, they still act feminine. And that's a key point, which is the portrayal of femininity is actually there, right? They're there to be, they act cute, and that's what makes K-On! A Christian anime in my eyes, because we see a lot of media today which portray women as not feminine, as more masculine, or in a degenerate manner, like for perversion. So that's why I think K-On! Is that's one aspect of why K-On! Is a Christian anime for that. And the other one is that it demonstrates the value of a homogeneous society, so the girls live quite comfortably and safely in their society due to the lack of acceptance of mass immigration. Now, whether or not you are pro mass immigration or anti mass immigration, so hello everyone, you know my position.
I don't recall the Bible ever saying that mass immigration's an issue, and to be honest, podcast, you're an immigrant. Should they send you back to the Philippines because you live in Australia? Now again,
what the hell are you?
Yeah, the kids in K-On! Aren't safer.
I am actually listening to it, by the way.
Oh, okay. The kids in K-On! Aren't magically safer because they live in a more homogenous society. That's not how that works. So stupid. And not even biblically based.
Can't be for real.
No, he is, and that's the sad thing. So, some advice. Actually study scripture. And I mean actually study it. Don't just read it and assume you know what's going on. Alter your behavior. Alter what you allow in your server. Alter how your men act. Because having a whole bunch of mods that are around your age and have the same level of immaturity is not going to help anything or anybody. Determine what you want your server to be. Because if it's just an anime hub, let it be an anime hub. If it's going to be a Christian place, let it actually function as one. To be clear, my server's not a Christian server. I'm a Christian, and my conduct is within a certain span there, based on my theology and understanding and belief. I don't enforce it on other people. We still have rules, and people will abide by them, but I am not a tyrant, and neither should you be. This is ridiculous, and you need to repent.
Even I know a Christian is supposed to preach, but not to force their religion onto other people.
And for the record, any of you are welcome to come at me at any given time. So, what's his name again? I always forget his name, because he's Saxon. So Saxon, if you're so concerned, then you have so many powerful people, feel free to come at me anytime. You can find my post in the server and you can add me. I'll take on any of you. And we'll see how you do.
Or you can just DM me and I'll throw you in.
Yes, and she'll have the cute little uwu voice, I'm sure.
I'll make sure I make every one of you comfortable.
Oh, goodness. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Thank you for joining me, Smoot. But before I do, I have super chats to read. I did not forego. So, super chats. Boop. Goodness, we got a few here. Raccoon for $5. What's your favorite horror movie? I don't like horror movies. They bore me. Francis Stalag, $10. I was raised in a Lutheran church in a very religious household. I was taught to be chill about my beliefs. Also, hot take, Martin Luther is the most base character in the Bible. He wasn't in the Bible. Sephirus for $20. Here's a 20 for the Gunpla funds or whatever cash drive you're doing. Hope you and the missus are doing good. May God keep and may Fjord bring you fair winds and wealth. Well, thank you. Raccoon for $2. Podcast Sand. Going to say not real weeb smout. Okay. Seraphy for $2. Lio thinks I'm cute. Yes, you're adorable. Mako for $5. Actually sad how hard-headed a lot of VTubers like Cap are, and their justification they all give is every other community has these issues. Yeah, I hate that excuse. Digital Sketch for $5. Maybe I shouldn't be simping. No, well, duh. Yes, based. Vinkman for $2. Take a drink every time someone calls Lio Leo. That's alcohol poisoning right there. Raccoon for $2. What's your name again, Lio? Lio Convoy. Buddha Cat for $2 in Hank Hill voice. That APC boy ain't right. And it's Christian, it's CAP. Tent163 Fantoka for $5. The fact that he needed to say he won't defend lollies publicly is disturbing. Yeah. The Fake Heaton for $5. Under the jail in a box immediately. Not inherently. Digital Sketch for $5. I'm glad that I haven't eaten recently because some of the comments this dude has made would have made me seeing it again. Yeah, I understand that. Raccoon for $10. Dress up on fictional stuff. Also, just don't dress like a Nazi. True. Gilded Pooh for $2. All weebs are pedos. Okay, Vlad. Seraphie for $2. 95% of that list is kids. I wouldn't know. Toby for $20. Why must people like him be real? Well, because human beings are flawed inherently. But that's it for now. I appreciate you all coming by, and hopefully the next stream won't be as irritating and depressing. Bye-bye.
Actually, oh yeah, bye-bye.
Get ready for explosive action with the Silverhawks. Holy hyperdrive! These space-age crime busters are going to strike a blow for justice. That's it, Silverhawks. Show them how it's done by rounding up the intergalactic mob led by Public Enemy #1. His name is Munstar. So soar with the superheroes that fly on wings of silver and fight with nerves of steel. The Silverhawks.
Weekday mornings at 6:30 on TV14.
Uh-oh.
Darkwing Duck, grade A superhero who gets a D in everything else.
The launch pad? The book.
He's destructive.
Evildoers everywhere fear me.
He's deranged.
I'm sure it seems that way to the untrained eye.
He's the greatest superhero in St. Bernard.
Let's get dangerous.
But to his friends, he's just good old DW.
Gee.
Weekdays on Darkwing Duck.
Weekdays at 3 on the WB Channel 11.
The SWAT Cats. What are they doing here?
Your job, Feral. Only a sorcerer's dark power could have brought these ancient bones to life. It must have been the Past Master.
Don't worry, Miss Briggs. We'll take care of it. And him.
How many lives do these cats have? From its ashes I will create a new city where lawlessness is the law of the land.
I used to be Dr. Purvis. But now you can call me Dr. Viper. Hey, bucket butts, is this a private party? Or can anybody join? Outstanding! Down these mean skies, a cat must fly. We want to be the good guys.
Do you think Dark Cat will surface again soon?
Well, when he does, we'll be waiting. Both of us. Count on it.
On the next all-new Ninja Turtles. Like the Phoenix, I have risen from the ashes, and into my fire you shall fall.
Guys, I say we shred his butt once and for all.
I will not allow you to destroy my family.
My sons, retreat!
Hey, the store's getting hot.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles!
Next Saturday, only in the Fox Box.
Dragonis is destroying the city. Here comes the hockey-playing Mighty Ducks to save the day. Go, Mighty Ducks! Wildwing skates in and joins Grin and Duke LaRange as they stop the evil Lord Dragonis from destroying the world. Go, Mighty Ducks! Go! Wildwing fires his puck. Duke throws his grappling hook and swings into action. Grin skates in with a super crunch. Go! And here comes the Duck Cycle firing pucks to finish off Dragonis. Ducks rock! The new Mighty Ducks. Figures and Duck Cycle sold separately. Duck Cycle coming soon.
What
hidden terror keeps the Batman awake at night?
We should start with your childhood, yes?
Bruce.
Is there some past tragedy?
What hidden terror keeps the Batman awake?
I was only a child.
Don't blame yourself.
What hidden terror?
Bruce.
A need filled you.
He ain't human.
All consuming. All controlled.
Who are you? I'm your worst nightmare. Bruce. Don't go in there.
Why couldn't you save us? Why couldn't you save us? Why couldn't you save us, son?
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Batman. Tonight at 7 on Cartoon Network.
It's payback time.